and one is the key to the city. And Youth Flow has got one of those trophies, the proclamation proclaiming this day. Amen. That was so significant. I've been here many times for many just cause, but one that means so much to me. I was here August the 28th, 1963. There was one of 250,000 folks who assembled around that reflection pool to hear the late Dr. King talk about the plight of the Negro. It wasn't about the Afro-American, black, it was the plight of the Negro. And we talked about that check that had insufficient funds. And he came to talk about jobs, housing, and education. Pretty much what we are talking about today. In fact, in many respects, things have not gotten better 50 years later in terms of unemployment, housing. We still have a long ways to go. But I want to thank my grandson, Tony and Christy, for their vision, looking for their dreams, hopes, and aspirations for young people, not only in this city, but around the world. When he asked me, he said he was coming down here to the Lincoln Memorial. I said, where are you coming? Where? Get down here. You get the nerve to come down here. How you do that? But anybody knows Tony. Mr. Tony was very persistent. Won't take no for an answer. Had the wind beneath his wings pushing him. Every time he stopped, he pushed him, got behind him. So we're making history again today with Youth Flow. And all the youth and the enemy behind the lines, the families and the children. It's significant that 50 years later, Tony Herndon and Youth Flow is back down here following in Dr. King's steps, talking about youth. Dr. King had a youth movement. Started in Georgia, trying to pull it together because they wanted to be heard. And we're doing the same thing with my grandson today, Mr. Tony Herndon. Give him a round of applause. Now we have the reading of the proclamation for the mayor. And as the longest serving elected official in this city, for any office, I am, for continuous service. I don't care if it's the school board mayor. No one has been in public office and been elected more than I have in the District of Columbia, having served as advisor to the commission for over 30 years. So I'm always a surrogate because I always like to have to say that I've been in office before the birth of Christ. That's what some of my folks would say. Now we have the reading of the proclamation, Youth Flow Day, June the 15th, 2013. Whereas Youth Flow Behind Enemy Lines will host its first annual Youth Day event at the Lincoln Memorial. And whereas Youth Flow Behind Enemy Lines was founded by Tony Warren Herndon Jr. and Christy Lee Herndon to provide youth various outlets through church, education, goal setting, seminars that teaches them how to cope or deal with conflicts within their environment. And whereas Tony Warren Herndon Jr. is a native Washingtonian who has served as a minister with the International Bible Way Organization and with the International Bible Way Youth People Union in Washington, D.C., and has devoted more than a decade of community service to help enhance the quality of life of our citizens. And whereas today's event bring together youth to discuss issues of concern and ways to resolve them. Now, therefore, I, the Mayor of the District of Columbia, do hereby proclaim June the 15th, 2013, Youth Flow Day in Washington, D.C., and call upon all of the residents of this great city to join me in recognizing this organization for their contribution that assists to our youth. Mayor Vincent Gray, give a round of applause. Get the sign, the one that's on the table, and bear witness to this great event today. This is a dear friend